I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial. Apostle used to talk about revival and how churches like to use revival like inoculation. Well, I want to tell you, I believe our corporate services many times are like inoculation. And what I mean when I say that, inoculation is when they give you a shot that gives you just enough of a virus or just enough of something to keep you from getting the real thing. Real family, real love, real connection, real honor, real humility, real peacemaking, real walking together through life. It takes more than services. You're going to have to actually get joined to one another. And if there was ever a time for you to take your seat in family, it's right now. If there was ever a time to feast at the table of his goodness with other people, it's right now. If there was ever a time to come home and get joined, it is right now. And Abba really is raising up fathers and families all over the nation that he can build his family through, that he can build businesses with, and that the businesses that can bless regions, families that can grow food together, families that share life together. And then the culture looks at these families, and then it becomes true what Jesus said when Jesus said this. He said, how will they know that you're my disciples? Because they see a group of people that passionately love one another. Abba really is bringing people together as family. And guys, a group of people you can let your kids run together with, play together with. And eventually, as they get older, they'll pray together, encounter God together. And then when that happens, families are going to spread presence all over the place. It's going to be amazing. And listen to me, this is an important statement. If this gospel message that you and I are receiving does not translate into the most beautiful and messy experience of love within biblical community, then we must admit that we have not allowed its power to pierce us deep enough. If we're saying yes to the gospel, friend, and it doesn't translate into you being joined to a body of believers, the gospel has not pierced you deep enough. Paul said in Ephesians 2:19 through 22, I'm paraphrasing here. He said, we're being built up together. We're being made into a holy temple together. Peter said in 1 Peter 1:2, verse 5, we are living stones that are being built into a spiritual house. Paul said in Romans 12, we are members of his body. And in Romans 12:5, he says, each member belongs to each other. If you're not joined, there's a piece of the body missing. You got to get in there, man. There's a wholeness that a group of people are not experiencing because you're not there, because your gifting's not there, your grace is not there, you're not around the fire pit, you're not at the family table, and you've got to take your place, man. This is what the Lord's doing. You say, what's the prophetic word for 2024? Get joined and rooted in family. Listen, Romans 12 says that we're to be devoted to one another. We're supposed to honor one another. We're supposed to share with God's people who are in need. We're supposed to rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. This is koinonia, friend, experiential fellowship. You're going to encounter God together. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 12:25 that all the parts of the body should have equal concern for each other. And when we hear that a family member's fallen, our response is not one of criticism or condemnation or gossip or looking down on them. We show concern. We cover them in prayer. And if possible, we gently lead them. Listen, we gently lead them back to fullness of restoration. True koinonia, true biblical Christ-like fellowship eliminates condemnation and eliminates criticism. Listen to this, by way of care. Somebody put care in the comments, because that's a huge piece. True koinonia eliminates condemnation and criticism by way of care. True koinonia, listen to this, eliminates competition within the family. True koinonia eliminates competition. It's when we think individualistically rather than corporately that we foster a spirit of competition instead of honor. True koinonia is supposed to be a culture of honor, not competition. But even worse, listen, because we're getting to the crux of this now. Even worse than competition is internal competition also known as comparison. Man, we're getting into some relational stuff here that you need to hear. Comparison allows conformity and competition to crush who you are called to be authentically. It's constant mental gymnastics for you to fit in, but yet stand out. I need to fit in, but yet I need to stand out. The motto of comparison is be like everyone else, just better. And when I compare myself against you, I make you my competition. I'm helping some people in relationships right now. When I compare myself against another, I've made that person my competition. It leaves no place for you to be authentic, and it leaves no place for you to celebrate others' authenticity. Comparison makes you strive to be better than others in order to get noticed or be accepted. And listen to this, the only fruit of comparison is either pride or discouragement, and announces that we have not yet received our true value in Christ because we still are measuring ourselves against each other.